My name is Alexa, and this is our capstone project, the Beaver Health Vulnerable Web App. Our team, Cody, Ray, Sean, Brady, Brynn, Devaan, and I built a purposely insecure Laravel web application to simulate real-world security vulnerabilities in a safe and controlled environment. The app is modeled after a realistic medical portal and includes toggleable vulnerabilities like SQL injection, command injection, broken access control, unrestricted file upload, and both stored and reflected cross-site scripting. According to the OWASP, injection and broken access control are two of the top 10 most critical web application risks. That's why we focused on them. They're not only common, but they're also extremely dangerous when they're left unpatched. Our goal was to give developers and testers a hands-on space to learn how these attacks work, to experiment, test exploits, and practice defending against them without risking a real system. Each vulnerability can be turned on or off depending on the lesson or use case. Our app is deployed to Google Cloud Platform and built to mimic real-world web vulnerabilities in a safe way. This project gave us solid hands-on experience in both breaking and securing applications, and we hope it can help others do the same. Now I'll pass it to Cody for a quick walkthrough of our demo. Thank you.
This is Beaver Health. This app provides opportunities to learn about broken access control, cross-site scripting, SQL injection, command injection, and unrestricted file upload. The app is designed as a faux healthcare portal. We added the theme just because we thought it would be a little more fun and interesting. It doesn't really have anything to do with healthcare other than thematically. Um, the dashboard here just gives you some general information about the project and links to some resources. And we've got our GitHub repos wiki. Here contains some guides on how to exploit the various vulnerabilities in the app. And we're still building this out, but it'll soon contain some educational resources and documentation to help you learn about web application security more generally. The vulnerabilities in the app are toggleable, so you can come here to the vulnerability toggles page and enable or disable each vulnerability individually. The admin page here lets you update roles for each user. We've got a role-based access control system, and each of these roles gives you access to a specific page. So if I remove request records from my user, that page is removed from the sidebar here. But if the broken access control vulnerability is enabled, I can still force browse to that page or force browse to this page and update roles regardless of whether I have the administrator role. The Add Medical Records page lets you upload files. They're associated with patients. These are fake patients that are seeded to the database when you set up the app. With the unrestricted file upload vulnerability enabled, you can upload any kind of file here, regardless of extension or MIME type. And then on the Request Medical Records page, you can then search for those files and download them. And this search field here is vulnerable to command injection. On the patient feedback page, you can use cross-site scripting. You can inject scripts into this add comment form or the search form. This will upload the payload to the database, and it will render on every page load. This will render only once and be reflected immediately. The patient information page lets you search for information on specific fake patients, and this field is vulnerable to SQL injection. Change password page is also vulnerable to SQL injection. This lets you change the current user's password even if you don't know the current user's password. And then we've got this reset application feature. This is just for convenience to let you just get a clean slate easily. Those are kind of the major features here.
Hello, my name is Sean, and I'm going to go over a lot more of the development process of the website security research project. And for the development process, we mainly went through 4 steps, which was planning, the actual app development, pen testing, and documentation. With fall term being a lot more of the planning requirements and just sort of sorting out the initial application structure, which you'll actually see in the next slide. In terms of winter, we did a lot more of the implementation of core features and vulnerabilities. And this current term for spring, we're just finalizing some features, doing the actual pen testing, and actually developing some educational documentation for the development process. In terms of original plan and some deviations, most of our original plans was just to develop on top of the OWASP vulnerable web app and follow sort of the wireframe UI as you see to the right here is just kind of where we wanted it to look like and use. However, most of the changes were actually UI based for the most part in terms of front end. Just some stuff just didn't work quite out well. And we also transitioned from building a custom app in Laravel instead of actually using the predetermined vulnerable web app, mostly just for greater flexibility and faster feature development. And lastly, in terms of challenges and lessons learned, we ran into some constraints with schedules. We mostly had a pivot. That was a big challenge. Just figuring out what would meet our requirements. Some initial difficulties with the setup of the environment and some complex security architecture in terms of actually deploying it publicly. So we learned just really focusing on soft skills with communication, making sure that we actually think a lot harder about foundations and tech stack when developing, investments, and just more looking forward into user-friendly environment setups, and actually taking a lot more considerations into creating public-facing demos. And that will be all for my section. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brynn, and I will be handling the conclusion. To conclude, our project delivered a fully functional web application designed for hands-on cybersecurity education. The app includes multiple intentionally vulnerable features based on the OWASP Top 10. Each vulnerability is toggleable, allowing users to safely switch between secure and insecure versions. This makes it ideal for practicing real-world exploitation techniques in a controlled environment. We also created an in-depth educational documentation to support the app. Each vulnerability comes with a detailed walkthrough explaining how it works, how to exploit it, and how to mitigate it. Our goal was to create a resource that not only shows what these issues look like in code, but also teaches why they matter and how to defend against them. Looking ahead, the entire project will remain open source under the GPL v3 license. That means anyone can use, modify, and build on it. While we focus on some of the most critical vulnerabilities, there's plenty of room to grow. Ultimately, we hope this project just serves as a learning tool for anyone interested in web security, whether they're just getting started or want a deeper understanding of how real attacks happen. And finally, we want to thank our project partner, GoCool, and our instructors for their guidance and support throughout the academic year. Their feedback helped shape the project into something we're really proud of.